Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and welcome back to my channel. Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and I am back again to do a mega upload of 69 Instagram stories that I screenshotted from AMBERLYNN'S Instagram stories to discuss with you all today. Just so you know, I did not cut my hair. It's in a little poop bun. It seems like when I wear this hat and I pull it back like that, sometimes people are like, oh my god, did you cut your hair? Did you cut your hair? And no, my stylist will not currently let me do anything to my hair because he says I'm not in the right place to be making big decisions about what my hair looks like. And you know what? For that, I thank him. I appreciate that he's always looking out for me. But no, I just put it up in a bun, pulled it back, put a hat on, and she's looking cute. This is what you get today, because tomorrow I am leaving to go on a short trip to New York City, and I will not probably be posting, I can't imagine I'll post any AMBERLYNN content. I don't know. I'm taking my laptop and I'm taking my phone, so I guess maybe if there's like something crazy that comes out, I could potentially film a reaction. I'm traveling solo, which is a little different than other trips I've gone on in the past few years, and you know, I have some plans, but I'm also very much just like excited to be out of the city, to be somewhere else, and if I have free time to film something, if it feels like important, groundbreaking, I will. I am gonna film a couple things that are not necessarily AMBERLYNN related during my time in New York. I just have like a couple ideas for things that I want to film, and so I will be posting that, although I don't know if I'll post while I'm actually in New York, so you'll just have to stay tuned. They might come out like once I'm already back. I don't know, I haven't really decided. I'm kind of just flying by the seat of my pants. This was like a little small impulse decision I made post breakup, so I don't really know what I'm doing or why I scheduled this trip, but we're going. I'm waking up tomorrow and I'm going to the fucking airport and I'm getting on a plane and we're going. So I just wanted to give that update. There will be no Twitch streams, although a lot of you, that just made me think, a lot of you have been commenting on like my 1,000 Pound Sister uploads and also like in other places on my channel about how you want more non-AMBERLYNN and foodie beauty content, which like I don't post that much foodie booty content these days anyways. And you know, I do have that on this channel, but I have a lot of that on my Twitch re-upload channel. So while I'm out of town, while I'm out of the city, if you want to go follow Zachary Michael also, you can go check that out. And I have like playlists on that channel. You can go click the playlist tab and it'll give you a playlist of like various content creators that we've reacted to multiple times if you want to get caught up on those people. There's just lots of options out there for you. I should probably stop blabbing, because 69 Instagram stories is a lot of stories to cover. This does also go back over the span of a few days, alright? Like, I think I started screenshotting these, like, almost immediately following the last Instagram Q&A update that I made. So some of this is maybe old news, some of it is in reference to me, which I think just keep in mind that the last Instagram story coverage that I did, she was talking about how I was one of her favorite reaction channels, or she called me her guilty pleasure, that's what she said. And then that led to just people asking her a whole bunch of questions about me, so we'll get into that as well. There was some stuff about her cancer, which like, I don't really have anything else to add about that, and I didn't screenshot, I don't think, any of those. If I did, it was very few posts about her having cancer, because I don't think it's worthwhile or helpful to like nitpick and try to determine if she did or didn't have cancer. I've said over and over again on my channel that like I believe that she had cancer. I believe that she underwent a lot of medical treatment for it, and I don't know why she keeps bringing it up, although I imagine it must be really frustrating to have people continue to question this like really serious time in her life. To be honest, like, you know, I'll eat all my words if someday something comes out that like really just like concrete proves that she didn't have cancer, but like she showed a lot of stuff. I'm not a medical expert. I believe her, and that's also why I fully, like, stopped covering her for a while she was going through it. So I don't have anything more to say about that in case you're wondering why I didn't include those, but I think that's all of the, like, prefaces I have to give. So should we just get to? Let's get to, shall we? Alright, so we get off to a great start with, ever done a sex tape? And she said, no, I haven't, but I'm not exactly opposed to it. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if Tommy Salami runs out of money or if Amberlynn runs out of money, and then they have to justify that or use that to justify getting feeder content out there onto like an OnlyFans platform or something like that. Latest collection obsessions you haven't shared yet, and I just... Oh, this is just so funny to me. She said, highlighters. It was a quick obsession. Literally hundreds of dollars on highlighters for no reason. I haven't had a weird obsession like that in a while, so I'm letting it slide. So I just, first of all, want to talk about just like the obsession with highlighters as a concept. I mean, I know there's some of you pen girlies out there, some of you stationary girlies, like this is like your gig, I got it, I'm not coming for you. But it's just like, if you don't know about Amberlynn, she used to go through these self-described like manic situations where she would just like buy like a shit ton of a thing because she was obsessed with it and then do nothing with it. And she has talked about that as like being a like bad sign of her mental health. And I don't really feel like it's because she's actually passionate about highlighters or cares about highlighters or like pens or stationery or anything like that. Like, it's truly like, to me, based on like things she shared in the past, like something that is just indicative, I think, of her mental health. And it's just funny to me because in my last like Instagram update, or one of these Instagram updates, she was going on and on and on about just like how happy she is. Although she did say that sometimes her emotions are a swing set. But I just think that if she was looking at some of her behavior critically, she might look at this and not want to let it slide, considering it's very reminiscent of past behaviors that she's had, you know? Somebody said, how can you say Snowflake is lying if you haven't watched his video? And she said, when I get a flood of messages about one specific topic at once, I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's true. If I'm wrong, so be it, but some of these messages include thumbnails and titles of Snowflake's videos. That's honestly all I need to know right there, which I think is, again, indicative of Amberlynn just running with what people tell her in the comments and running with what people tell her in her Instagram Q&As and her DMs, because what she can sometimes often realize is that people are trolling her or people are like saying things to get a rise out of her. But it apparently has never dawned on her that maybe people are just saying things to instigate stuff, you know? Like maybe people are just messaging her this stuff to get her started, to get her riled up and things like that. And so, yeah, I don't think it's a fair thing to say that because multiple people sent you something or said similar things that you should just assume it's true. Like that is probably not the best way to approach things at all. Somebody asked, one thing about Tommy you can't get enough of. This is gonna be cheesy as fuck, but who cares? When she looks into my eyes with love and or desire. Eye contact is a major turn on for me, sexually and non-sexually. It's making me think about, have y'all seen the Cynthia Erivo Wicked discourse where she got upset because people made edits to like a poster that was put out for promotion for the movie? They made edits to it to make it look like the original Wicked, the musical poster on Broadway. And she got mad because because of that, they edited out half of her face. And she was like, I intentionally looked the camera straight down the barrel. And it's just like, I bet that turned Amberlynn on so much. so much. Anyways, I don't know. Listen, whatever Float your boat, girl. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever works for you. Somebody said, are we really going to get the crumble cookie video? And she said, yes, but I'm not sure what my best plan of action is, like which website, etc. Which, again, is funny because, you know, it's already questionable what's going on her actual YouTube channel. I mean, I've told you that because of the journalist that I talked to, that journalist was asking YouTube and reaching out to YouTube for comment on the story that they were making. And they were asking about things about terms of service and stuff like that, and that led to YouTube reviewing specifically the rotisserie chicken mukbang video, but ultimately also led to them apparently going and looking at other videos outside of that as well. And so, like, I just don't think her channel's probably in a place for her to be posting that in 2024. My thoughts and beliefs and feelings are that she absolutely, like, got a pass on these old videos because she had posted a lot of them before YouTube updated their terms of service and stuff like that. But I can't imagine YouTube being like, oh yeah, this content of this woman sexually eating a crumble cookie, yeah, that's totally not a problem for our platform whatsoever. Then somebody asked her, do you think Zachary Michael has been kind to you? And she said, I think he tries his best to be fair, but also cater to his audience. You can't deny that the majority of his audience is there for one reason and one reason only, minus the fact that they like Zach. So she had to remove the fact that a lot of you just watch my channel because you like me regardless. She said, there's only one reason if you don't include the fact that y'all like Zach. Like, forget about that for a second. And the real reason they're there is just for me, to talk about me, to hate me, is I think what she's implying. I think she answers some more questions about if she thinks that I really care about her and stuff. So I'll try to save my thoughts about that for that question, because I think I do have a lot of thoughts about this concept of, like, is it possible for me to care about AMBERLYNN'S well-being and also do the content that I do? Because I think it is, and it's funny that she says to cater to his audience, because I do think there's a portion of my audience, or a portion of people that click on my videos at the very least, that only want me to hate on AMBERLYNN. I don't think she's wrong about that. I do think that there exists a population of people that watch me that expect that out of my content. I've never really, like, hated AMBERLYNN. I'm very critical of a lot of her life choices. I think she's made a lot of bad choices. I think she's said and done a lot of problematic things, but I think it's possible to still care for people like that. I think, like, as she'll point out later in other questions, like, humans are nuanced, and I think that's something I've always realized, acknowledged. I'm a nuanced person. She's very nuanced. And I think you can, she thinks about things in a very black and white kind of way, despite saying that, like, she doesn't, or that other people don't. She thinks about things in such a black and white thing. It's hard for her to realize that, like, I can genuinely care about her well-being and give thoughtful advice about some things for her, and also still do this as a job, still be critical of her. I mean, I think also, like, if you watch me on Twitch, one of the things that has always been, like, a mild pet peeve, even though that I know that people are coming from, like, a good place when they say that, but, like, a lot of people, and it's not even just on my channel, like, I think that a lot of people do this in their everyday lives with people around them, and they'll say things like, I love you, but, and then go on to deliver criticism. And the thing is, for me, is, like, if you're giving me feedback, I don't make the assumption that that means that you don't love me, you don't like me, or you don't care about me. In fact, like, the best feedback and criticism and things like that comes from people who do care about you, because they're actually invested in you doing better. And so, like, I just make the assumption that everybody loves me unless they tell me otherwise. But yeah, I don't know. I'm getting too much into it because I know another question is coming later, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. Funniest conspiracy theory you've heard about yourself? And she said the waffle stomping. Like, ma'am, no. Which, like, if you don't know what waffle stomping is, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, I don't know all the lingo. I don't want to start waffle stomping discourse. But I'm pretty sure it's where you take a poop in the shower and you stomp it through the drain. I I think that's what it is. I don't know. I'm not a waffle stomping expert, so if you want to have discourse about waffle stomping in the comments, please feel free to pop off. Somebody said, I often rewatch your live streams. Will you do a BUZZBALL live again soon? Please, God, no. But she said, honestly, I can see myself doing one soon. Which would make sense. Honestly, it would make a lot of sense because I don't think she has content otherwise lined up. I don't think she's like sitting on a bevy of extra content that she can just post. It seems like she has not been vlogging whatsoever. Somebody said, do you acknowledge that saying, so what if I gaslight my audience was messed up? Which that is something she said like, I don't know, years ago at this point. It was something that she acknowledged along with how she also acknowledged that she's like trolled in videos and stuff. She frequently says things like that or has said things like that because she was like trying to avoid accountability. And she was just like, if I just write it off as me trolling, then like I'm then I don't have to take accountability outside of that. But she said it was a facetious statement that got blown out of proportion during a time I felt extremely overwhelmed. No excuse for it, but I genuinely wasn't serious. Thankfully, it was 4 years ago and I'm able to move past stupid shit I've said in the past. I'm sorry to those who I hurt with that statement. And I think that that's like also, you know, that's also the thing that she doesn't take into account whenever she talks about wanting people to believe her and wanting people to, you know, trust her again and trust her content on YouTube. It's because she said things like that and then she'll say like, oh, I didn't actually mean it like years later. And it's just like, it's hard to know what is the truth with Amberlynn because she's created this narrative on her YouTube channel of like admitting to lies sometimes and then saying like, I never lied on my channel and lots of gaslighting and trolling and things like that. Somebody said, would you ever do scheduled weekly live streams again or has that ship sailed? And she said, it's definitely a possibility. I won't say no. But if I ever do have a weekly live stream, I also want to still upload alongside of that. There will never be a live stream era only again. We can only hope you remain true to that statement. I think it would be hard for her to do a weekly live stream because I think what she would end up running into is that she would have a lot of pre-recorded content and then she would come on to a live stream and people would want to talk about what is currently going on in her life. And I think that that's like the struggle of doing pre-recorded stuff because it's like, girl, nobody cares. People want to know what's going on now unless you don't give us an option to know what's going on now and then they'll care about the old nonsense. Does that make sense? Somebody said, do you like Zachary Michael's Twitch re-upload videos? Do you have a fave person they react to? And she said, I don't watch Twitch stuff. I think I've been on Twitch like twice in my life. And it was to watch my friend play a video game. And so just so you know, you can certainly come join me at twitch.tv/thezacharymike. You absolutely can. But I also do re-upload all of the reaction parts of my Twitch streams to a second channel called Zachary Michael also. It's always linked down below in the description box and it's also linked like on my YouTube page here, like if you go down to my other channels. So you don't have to actually go to Twitch at all if you don't want to watch it. But I left this in there, not that it's anything juicy from her, but I left it in there as a PSA to y'all that you don't even have to go to Twitch if you don't want to. A lot of people have been like, I don't want to download another app. No worries, I got you. You can watch my reaction on the YouTubies. Oh gosh, this is so small. It says, are the horn photos ever gonna stop? And she said probably not. So just in case you're wondering, she's gonna keep using the same filter forever, which, live your truth, live your truth. Somebody said, what is one small goal you have recently made for yourself? And she said, I created a YouTube schedule. That's about as far as I got. Proud of you. Proud of you. When does said YouTube schedule start? When do we get to start seeing the schedule? I'd like to see that. And also, how complicated is the schedule that you created? it's like funny to me that it's like a small, I mean, I guess she did say a small goal, but like it's funny to me that like she's making a point to say she created a YouTube schedule, and at most it's probably gonna either be like posting every other day again, or like posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or something like that. All right, next one. Now that you're with Tommy, do you believe the love you felt for past relationships was different? And she said, I felt a different love in every single relationship I've been in. So yes. I don't know. The way that she talks about love and relationships just always feels so shallow to me. Because, like, what does that even mean? You know? What does that even mean? I don't know. I mean, I guess you could say the same for the person asking the question. Like, what were they even going for? It just feels like a shallow understanding of love. Another person said, what is your favorite thing about your relationship with your girlfriend? And she said, getting to experience life with your best friend who you also find extremely sexy. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I don't know. This, honestly, the if you know, you know part of this one just feels so cringe to me. And again, this is like also such an undeep answer about your favorite thing about your girlfriend. But you know what? That's great, I guess. I'm glad y'all get to experience life. The life that she's experiencing, by the way, at least based on what we've seen, is going to Dave & Buster's, going to the casino, and eating food. So I'm glad you're experiencing life. That's stunning and amazing. Somebody said, oh, this is the one I was talking about. Someone said, do you ever take what Zachary Michael says and consider it, like how a friend would be giving you tough love? And she said, no, because I'm not sure how much is genuine. What he is doing is his job. He wouldn't be doing it for free. If he cared about me, he'd contact me in person and tell me that. But like most reaction channels, they don't care about me. The advice and concern they share publicly could be made privately if it actually mattered, because more than likely I'm not watching your video. So who are you really talking to? Your audience, not me. So a number of things. First of all, I think when we talk about this being my job, absolutely, 100%, it's my job. And while it's certainly not the same to other jobs that I've worked in the past, like I have worked in a lot of industries and fields, particularly, what is, sorry, a little tiny like gnat or something just started flying by my face. I worked specifically in like the education field for like 6 years of my life before I quit and started doing YouTube full time. And that is an industry where you are paid to care about other people. And I don't think that just like adding the tier of like, or the barrier or the wrapping of like you get paid to do this suddenly means that you don't care, or that you do care about the people that you're working with or helping or talking to or talking about. I certainly do think it's important to discuss that I get paid to do this, and it's also important to discuss that like I care about Amberlynn to the extent that like, you know, I don't actually know, like I've never met her in real life, you know? I think that I do want to be entertaining. I've talked about that as well. Like I want to be entertaining. And I don't think that just because I get paid for this takes away from the fact that like I'm giving solid, helpful, good advice on stuff. I think that a lot of people have told me that, you know, even though I'm talking about Amberlynn, that like things that I've said have resonated with them, that they found, you know, my feedback helpful or help them get through something. And so like at the end of the day, like yes, I'm giving advice to Amberlynn, but she's absolutely right that like I'm not directly talking to her. I am also talking to the people in my audience, and I hope that people get what they get from it. And if that's just that they came here to laugh and I made them laugh today, great. If there's something helpful I said about like mental health, I hope that they take it. And you know what? You know who is my audience? Amberlynn. She's fully said that she's been watching my videos. So like, yes, I do think that sometimes I am in fact talking to Amberlynn, And that's for her to take if she wants. Now, when she talks about here, me, like, coming to her and talking privately, I have done that in the past, actually. Like, a well-documented history of talking to her privately. And unfortunately, she ruined that for herself now, where I am no longer going to be engaging with her in any kind of way, because she tried to slide into my DMs and manipulate me over her accusing me of doxing her weight loss surgeon when I didn't do anything like that. And in fact, I only got confirmation about who her weight loss surgeon was because she told me in my DMs, and then continued to manipulate me later when she finally came out with who her weight loss surgeon was, and tell everybody in her audience that, like, I was such a good person because I kept her secret. When she came to me about the weight loss surgeon stuff, and she was concerned about getting doxxed and people having her information, things she needed to do, you know what I did? I gave her personal advice on how to deal with that situation. I gave her a lot of personal feedback on what to do in that situation. And you know what she didn't do? Take any of my goddamn advice. So, like, the time for me reaching out to AMBERLYNN passed a long time ago. Even, honestly, truly, probably before that, because she had me blocked prior to that on a lot of platforms for a very long time. Which is her prerogative, by the way. I don't care or mind that she had me blocked back then. But yeah, I don't know. It's just is really silly to me as a concept that I can't possibly care about somebody because I have this channel, this platform, whoever, whatever. I've worked in industries where, people got paid to be there to provide a service for people and care for people. And some of those people didn't really care about them, and some of them cared about the students that they were helping a lot. And, like, the aspect of, like, getting paid for something does not inherently mean you do or do not care about somebody. Like, I do care about AMBERLYNN. I do care about her well-being, in the way that I care about everybody's well-being, like, even the worst people. Well, I mean, there's probably a limit there, right? But, like, in the grand scheme of, like, evil people in the world, like, AMBERLYNN is not the most evil person that's ever existed, and because of that, then, like, I care. Like, I hope she makes some changes in her life that lead to her living a very fulfilled, positive life, you know? I don't know. Maybe I've rambled too much about that, but I hope everything I had to say made sense. Somebody said, I really could see you and Zachary Michael as friends. It would be the frenemies of the century. And she said, in a different lifetime, him and I are definitely friends. He'll deny that, though. Well, here's the thing. You can say in a different lifetime, but we're in this lifetime. And in this lifetime, I know who you are as a person, AMBERLYNN. So no, I would not be friends with you in this fucking lifetime that exists right now. If we were in some kind of Marvel Cinematic Universe where there are multiverses and you were a completely different fucking human being, then yeah, maybe I would be your friend in a different lifetime. But we're living in this lifetime. We're living in 2024. All right, bestie, we're here right now, and no, I would not be your friend. You seem like an insufferable friend just by watching your interactions with fucking Alexis, okay? No interest. I'm good. Case closed. No need. Somebody said you should use Twitch to stream since YouTube is playing around. And she said, YouTube isn't playing around. I just haven't been uploading. I'm taking a break, which I do frequently. Well, YouTube is playing around in the sense that they are removing your videos. I don't know why she's trying to act coy and act like that's not happening, since she did already acknowledge it on her own community tab. But all right, let's continue. Somebody said, when you say you have an obsession with highlighters, do you mean as in makeup or markers? Which I think is a hilarious question that needed to be asked. Because in my head, I hadn't even considered that she might have just bought a plethora of, like, makeup highlighters. But she clarified that it was markers. Somebody said, I miss your shop with me videos. Will you do more in the future? And she said, I literally was just at Target a few hours ago. I should have vlogged. And this is what I'm talking about. This is one of the only fucking things you do in your life. Like, why not just pick up your camera on your phone and film it. I don't understand. But she said, yeah, I'll do one soon. Somebody said, what have you been up to in the past few weeks you haven't been uploading? And she said, enjoying life without filming it. I just needed it. Please understand. Understood. Aye, aye, Captain. And then this is where I just start to think, like, Amberlynn is starting to just be smug about me again, and the appeal of me being her guilty pleasure quickly wore off, because this person said, ZM lives with his ex, but he talked mad shit about you doing it. Thoughts? Question mark. And she said, maybe now he understands, which... it's just a really fascinating thing to say, because when I saw this, I was like, I do need to think about what did I say in the past about her living with her exes, because here's the thing. I fully do understand and feel like I have understood that there exist times and situations where you don't want to, like, force somebody into a situation that they can't be in, right? And so, like, you let somebody continue to live with you. So I don't think that I was ever necessarily upset about that, but, you know, things that I have commented on that I remember about her living with exes is that she did in fact talk about how she continued to make them share a bed with her, which feels really weird even still today to me, especially considering that some of those exes have come out and talked about how they didn't want to do that, or how it felt uncomfortable, or how they wanted to do something else. And so, like, that I do think was, like, fair for me to talk mad shit about, because you know what I'm not doing? That. You know what I'm not doing? All of that. And then the other thing, I was trying to think about the most recent situation where she was living with a partner, and that was like with Feline in Kentucky. And when I think about the things that she said about that situation, I do remember saying, like, why don't you just move out? Like, why don't you just leave? And it was always in response to her saying that she was having a hard time living with Feline, that she was having a difficult time living there. And Amberlynn is certainly somebody with financial means to be able to change that situation for herself. So I guess I was just like, that was what I was saying. But here's some things I'm not doing. I'm not coming online and complaining about it. I'm not coming online and talking about it at all. So there's the difference, you know, that's what you need to know. The things I've said about Amberlynn in the past are a direct result of her making exes sleep in a bed with her, and her being in a situation and complaining about it, even though she had the means to do something about it and get herself out of that situation. Yeah? You feel me? You feel me now, Mr. Krabs? I don't know. I don't know if it's fair to describe it as me talking mad shit. But also, like, it's very funny because when Amberlynn's approached with situations like this where she can get a gotcha on somebody who's maybe in a difficult place, she loves to do it. She loves to, that's why she already did it with this situation, you know? That's why I had a whole video where I addressed her already, like, punching down on the situation that I am in. So, again, it's just another one of those situations where she's saying these things to help herself feel better without taking into account, like, how she allegedly felt when I allegedly did this to her, you know? You feel me? You feel me, Amberlynn? So I hope you're sleeping well. I hope you're sleeping well with your actions and behaviors. Somebody asked, do you ever get asked to do interviews, shows, sponsors, podcasts, or anything? And she said, most recent things I've been asked to do was be a part of a plus-size modeling competition for a website. And I was asked by a journalist for NBC to do an interview, but I declined both things. I have a bad habit of doing that. And since she has publicly now confirmed it, I was aware that the journalist that I spoke to had also reached out to Amberlynn. Interesting that she said she declined both things. Interesting choice of words, but yeah, she did not get back into contact with the journalist, as far as I know, to share her side. And if you don't know, because I think some people are also asking about, like, why did this journalist reach out to YouTube or whatever? Like, as a journalist, my understanding, I'm not a journalist in any kind of way, never claimed to be, but my understanding is that journalists want to give everybody a chance to comment, which is why you'll often read articles and see them say, like, oh, we tried to reach out to so-and-so for comment, but did not hear back or did not get a comment at this time. And so since she was a large part of what I assume is going to be talked about in whatever this article looks like or ends up being about, I think that that's why the journalist had also reached out to her. Like, the article very much is not specifically about me, just for the record. Like, it was asking me to comment on things that the article was going to be discussing. So just in case that was confusing, again, I can potentially answer more questions if you have them, or like once the article eventually comes out, maybe we can talk about it here on the channel. I included this particular screenshot because I thought it was interesting, because in my last video, I talked about how she was saying that she was so behind on shows, but then somehow was not behind on Big Brother. And so I just thought it was interesting that she chose to answer the question, are there any shows you're not behind on? And she said Big Brother, because it's one of my faves. And I knew it would be spoiled for me online if I didn't stay caught up. So, which is also fine. I understand that too. Like, I stay on top of Survivor because I know if I don't watch it when it, like, shows or, like, when it airs, that I'm gonna get spoiled on Twitter. Somebody said, do you still dislike Salty Crab? Also, I miss your videos, but your mental health is important. So if you don't know, Salty Crab is the YouTube channel that initially said, like, oh, this is Erica and her wife Brittany that Amberlynn has been in a relationship with. So anyways, Amberlynn said, I've only ever seen one Salty Crab video, and it was when they doxed / revealed who Valentine / Erica was. My jaw was on the floor, but I don't really have an opinion on them. I have an opinion on what they did, though. Which leads into several more questions that we'll get into about Amberlynn claiming that this person doxed Erica, this, that, the other. And I guess, like, I'll show you all of those. I don't know that I'll have a lot more to say, but, like, my thoughts about it are that Erica and Brittany wanted that story out. Like, once Amberlynn said Erica's name in a video, it was clear to me that they wanted to get the story out, because they then went on to talk to Apathetic Facts. They were talking to Jordy. You know that Brittany was in my DMs several times. Like, it's hard to say that they were doxxed when it was clear that they wanted attention from this situation, at the very least. What was the first picture you took with Tommy? And this is it. And she says, in the Jeep she surprised me with. Well, first of all, we need to just talk about how this is every fucking single picture they've ever taken. But then she says, in the Jeep she surprised me with exactly 3 months ago. And then this is the part that's most ridiculous. By the way, today is our 4-month talkiversary, which I assume means the anniversary of the day they started talking. What a fucking stupid ass thing to celebrate. But I guess when you're Amberlynn and things move so quickly like that, you just gotta celebrate the little things, I guess. Like, is anybody else having a talkiversary? Is this real life? Is this like, what is going on here? What's your reason for smiling today? Mine is being able to have a date night tonight. And she said, waking up to my sweet heart of a girlfriend. Her hugs are the best. And have fun on date night. So I only mostly, I mean, it's still the same level of, like, cringe relationship stuff. But I mostly included this because she's suggesting that she's still waking up to her girlfriend, whether that's in Wisconsin or Oklahoma. I'm assuming she's still in Wisconsin, but, like, either way, she's still with Tommy Salami. You should post the crumble video on X or Reddit. And she said, you guys are gonna be disappointed once you see it, because it's been blown out of proportion for sure. It's still a sexy video, though. And I just want to remind Amberlynn that the reason it's blown out of proportion is because her bestie, Alexis, suggested that she was crumbling her cookie in there, you know? her bestie, Alexis, put that narrative out. So, like, I just want to remind her of that, because y'all are pals again, and the only reason people think that you did something explicit is because of the way that Alexis talked about it. Somebody asked, would you say you're a forgiving person? And she said, yes, I am, even when I shouldn't be. Case in point, Alexis. Case in point. How do you deal with people constantly putting words in your mouth? And she said, it's definitely exhausting. I undershare and people use it as an excuse to speculate and spread rumors. I overshare and people say it's because I'm lying. I can never win, so I just am me. Which, I get what she's saying. I don't necessarily think the thing she's talking about is putting words in her mouth. Like, I don't know that speculation is putting words in her mouth, and I don't think that, like, people questioning if she's telling the truth is putting words in her mouth. Like, putting words in her mouth would be, like, saying that she said something that she didn't, right? But most of the time, people are using her what she says as the jumping point for their speculation, for thinking that she might be lying, whoever, whatever. So I think she's, like, not really answering the question because I don't think people are putting words in her mouth. Like, I think people are just going based off the content that they have, which is what she's saying. She's like, oh, when you all see me undershare, then you speculate and start rumors. When you see that I overshare, you say I'm lying. So yeah, what you're saying is that nobody's putting words in your mouth. They're just going based off the things that you say, right? So here we are. I want to be you for Halloween. Which era should I be? And the fact that she's, like, out here talking about the walking to the tree when that was the video that I reacted to, that she reacted to me, that I reacted to her reacting to me, reacting to her. And she, like, made me out to be this awful person and she's just in on the joke now. Like, that feels like growth for her. That feels like growth. How did Tommy ask you to be her girlfriend? She said, I'd be so lucky if you were mine. And then she asked me to be her girlfriend. It was really sweet. It sounds like it. How could you ever trust Alexis again? Be careful about who you let into your life. And she said, just because I'm friends with her doesn't mean I trust her fully. And I think she knows that. We're working on our friendship. Which, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, that feels mature. That feels like a mature response. I don't know that either of them are actually mature enough to be working on the friendship, but that seems like the right thing to say about it at the very least. So this is, again, the part about Erica getting doxxed, and this person said, you doxed Erica, though. And she said, I said her first name, literally a name. I could have been making up the name and no one would have known. I can say anyone's first name all day long when there's 346 million people in the USA. I never showed her, never revealed her Instagram, never said where she lived, never said where she worked, etc. I would have never done that. People seem to also forget that doxing is also about the intent and the goal. Salty Crab knew what they were doing. They took a 5-letter name and ran with it because they had a tiny bit of information and spread it to thousands of people. Now that's doxing. So what's funny about this is that, like, do I think that either of them really doxed Erica when I think Erica and Brittany both wanted to have their story out there to begin with? No. But the thing is that AMBERLYNN intentionally only ever called Erica Valentine for a reason, you know? like if it wasn't important enough to give your girlfriend who you're having an affair with a fake name from the get-go, you wouldn't have given her a fake name from the get-go. So let's just put that part out there. Like, there would have been, if there was no reason to call her Valentine and there's so many people in the world named Erica, she could have been any Erica, then you would have just called her Erica from the beginning. So let's be very serious about that, okay? Let's be really, really, really very serious about that. Like, you would have just called her Erica from the beginning. But also, that video that you put out, AMBERLYNN, was very targeted and very specific. And the purpose of that, at least in my opinion, was to take the heat off of your emotional support feeder, Tommy. Let's just call it what it is. Things blew up with Tommy, and you got upset, and you wanted people to leave Tommy alone. And so you decided to blow up Erica. You know, you decided to put Erica's name out there. And yeah, people ran with it. Also, Brittany was in my DM for months. So like she was going to get the story out regardless. I don't think really anybody doxed anybody. But I digress. Somebody said, Talkaversary, are you guys not dating? Because yeah, that would make it sound like why would you celebrate the anniversary of the day you started talking if, like, you have an anniversary of the day you started dating? And she said, Talkiversary is on the 18th. Our actual anniversary is the 26th. So silly. Just so dumb. Just like, how do you keep track of all of them dates and numbers in your head? Just goofy. Just absolute goofy nonsense. She answered a question that said, why do you consider watching porn cheating, but you doing a sex tape or OnlyFans is okay? And she said that sex tape would be for mine and my partner's eyes only, and the OnlyFans wouldn't be me lusting over someone else. And I think I understand her boundaries there. Like, if you wanna do like your own content and for the reasons that you want to do it, like, I think that's fine. I think people are really like like trying to split hairs here, having issues with it. The thing is that if you have like boundaries in a relationship and you communicate those boundaries and like somebody doesn't follow those boundaries in the relationship, you're allowed to be upset about it, even if those boundaries don't make sense to people outside of your relationship, you know? Somebody said, no way, it's been 4 months. I can't believe it. Time really flies. And she said, literally insane. On the 26th, it'll be our 4-month anniversary. I can't wait. And it is kind of crazy that all of this has happened in 4 months. Like, I feel like the last 2 months of my life have been crazy, and yet Amberlynn has somehow had, like, a more hectic 4-month time in, like, the span of 4 months, so here we are. So you putting out material for people to lust on OnlyFans is okay, but your partner watching porn is cheating. Make it make sense. And she said, the thing about stuff like this is it doesn't have to make sense. Boundaries are boundaries. So yeah, I don't know. Live your truth, Amberlynn. Start that OnlyFans. She's not going to start an OnlyFans also. We should just put that out there. So you guys became girlfriends after 8 days of talking? And she said, yes, we did. And we've been together for almost 4 months now. I love how she's like, yeah, you know what? Everybody has a different timeline. It's really giving, you know how sometimes people will talk about how their grandparents like got engaged after like a month of knowing each other or something like that, and then they'll go on to be like, yeah, and they've been married for 40 years. Like, that's what it feels like she's trying to do. It's like, yeah, you might think it's crazy that we started dating after only 8 days, but look, we've been together now for 4 months. 4 months is not a long time. It's not. There's still so much that could go wrong. You're the one who always gets asked out by your girlfriends. Why don't you initiate? Is it anxiety? And she said, out of the 7 serious relationships I've been in, I was the one to ask in only one of those. Sorry, I got a hair in my eye. It's not anxiety. It has just always happened that way. Plus, I think I prefer to be asked anyways. Somebody said, approximately how many calories is a binge? And this is all interesting because it's like, she claims that she doesn't even binge anymore, doesn't have binge eating disorder, that she was misdiagnosed with binge eating disorder, that she really just has a food addiction. So why she always comes back to talking about binging when she claims that that's not a problem for her is interesting to me. But anyway, she said it's not about the calories, it's about the mindset. Somebody asked, why drink so much when you know it causes weight gain? And this discourse about alcohol is ridiculous. Like, it really is giving like she's trying to justify her bad behaviors, and it's just not how it works. It's just not how alcohol works. It's not how these things, it's not how alcohol related to weight gain works, weight gain or weight loss. But she said, I don't drink so much, but regardless, I lose weight when I drink, but it's only water weight because alcohol makes me pee more than usual. I gain it back the next couple of days. And yeah, here's the thing, Amberlynn, like, drinking alcohol has a lot of calories in it, and you often drink a lot all at once, and you often don't think about all of that. And that's why a lot of people, when they stop drinking altogether, lose weight. Case in point, me. Like, I lost a good solid, like, 8 to 10 pounds last year because I stopped drinking, and that's literally all I did. That's literally all I changed about my diet. So, like, yeah, it does make a difference. And just because you pee a lot one night doesn't mean that those calories aren't adding up or that that's not impacting your body in some type of way. And to also suggest that you don't drink so much when you can plow through, like, 4 to 5 BUZZBALLs in the span of a 2 to 3 hour live stream is also very interesting. But here we go. Here we are. Journalist contacting Zachary Michael for Girl World. Thoughts? And she said, it was the same journalist that contacted me, but I chose not to do the interview. That journalist told me that they interviewed a reaction channel, and I actually had assumed it was him. I don't have any thoughts, though. And it's interesting because I think what really people were trying to be like is, what are your thoughts about YouTube taking down your videos because the journalist contacted them? But heaven forbid she actually answer any interesting part of the question. Heaven forbid she do that. Somebody said, I miss your earring selling era, hee hee. And she said, me too. I genuinely loved it. I felt passionate about it. And I'm like, she felt so passionate about it, she gave up on it a couple weeks in. She got rid of everything. I think the only reason she felt passionate about it is, you remember how I was talking about the highlighter obsession and her purchasing a whole bunch of highlighters? Her earring selling era was a result of her like manically buying hundreds upon hundreds of drop shipped earrings from like AliExpress and shit like that. So like, yeah, you were so passionate about it. You were very passionate about it, for sure, for sure. Somebody said, you have a live stream during earring era where you were miserable, not passionate. Which, agreed. I was not getting passionate vibes from her. And she said, during live stream era in 2021, I was miserable in general. My mental health was horrible, so that reflected in pretty much everything at the time. So that doesn't address how you were allegedly so passionate, though. It sounds like you were confirming, yeah, maybe I wasn't passionate. Maybe I was just miserable. Somebody said, thoughts on the Tommy Thread rumors, which, like, actually, I forgot when I took this screenshot. I was going to go look it up. I was going to go, because this is a rumor I haven't heard of, and I didn't go look it up. So I'm sorry for flopping. I never went and looked it up. I have no idea what those rumors are. But she said, people reached so far, I'm surprised they haven't pulled a muscle. Somebody said, do you think people may be harsh to Alexis because of how she acted during your friendship hiatus? And Amberlynn said, no, people loved that. They salivated for more. People are treating Alexis bad because we're friends again. No, that's like partially the truth. People are not a fan of Alexis because they see through her. They see through her. She's literally meant for you. You guys are meant to be friends because y'all are both ready to be heinous to other people the second that they do you dirty. And they are ready to, like, take each other back the second that it's convenient for you all. Like, people are upset with Alexis because it's clear that, like, she's not genuine in any of the things that she says. She's a flip-flopper. She's not consistent in the things that she says, and that's why people are over Alexis. Like, it's not solely just because she's your friend that people don't like her. It's that she has flip-flopped and been hypocritical, and it's just a mess. She's a mess of a human. That's why people don't like Alexis, please. Girl, you know the type of audience you have. Don't be surprised they found Erica. And she said no one would have found her if it wasn't for Salty Crab literally knowing who she was. That's the only reason why Erica was doxxed. And that is simply also, again, not true, because in November of 2023, Erica's wife was already in my DMs trying to expose y'all's relationship, and I just didn't take her seriously because she couldn't form a sentence to save her life, and she provided no proof of evidence or receipts. Somebody said, Erica doxed herself. People want you to be the villain so bad, LOL. And she said her wife contacted Salty Crab and told her who Erica was. Salty Crab then took the information and revealed it. It's really super simple. I can stay the villain for people even if I'm not always in the wrong. And again, then how did that make Salty Crab the person who doxed her? Like I said, Brittany wanted the story out. If you want to take your frustrations on anybody doxing the situation, go talk to Brittany, whose wife you had an affair with, okay? Jesus Christ. Somebody said, I thought you were a pluviophile, which I don't know what inspired them to say this. Maybe I didn't screenshot something else that she had said, but I thought it was silly anyways, because she said, I used to be, and I was for literally my whole life. But ever since I moved to Oklahoma, I'm slowly leaning out of preferring rainy days. I do like the rain on certain days/nights, but I prefer when it isn't raining now. And you had to get the pluviophile update. We had to give you an update about what was happening with her status as a pluviophile. just riveting stuff that I know a lot of you were concerned about. This is a two-part question, and the text is really small. I need to get my eyes checked. The text is really small on my screen, but this is about Amy and Tammy from the 1,000 Pound Sisters, which y'all know I'm an expert of. Actually, this weekend I posted a recap to the second episode of the new season if you haven't checked that out. But anyways, somebody said, why do you think it's okay for Amy/Tammy to be horrible and argue in their show, but you just saying normal human things make people hate you so strongly? And she said, this question blew my mind because I don't even have an answer. It's true, most reality shows show the very ugly side of people, since we all have ugly sides to us. But for some reason, when I show ugly sides of me, it gives people one opinion of me, that I'm a horrible person. But as humans, we are complex and have multiple dimensions to us. I've shown so many sides to me, just as Amy and Tammy have, good and bad. But when it's trendy to hate someone, i.e. me, that's what is going to happen. The undimensional thinking that most people have of me is exhausting, and for the lack of a better word, unfair. And here's where I think that she thinks about stuff as black and white. And maybe it's even less thinking about things as black and white, but just like not considering other perspectives. When she gets somebody that comes into her question box on Instagram stories and says, people think like this, what do you think about it? She doesn't consider the fact that, like, that isn't really the whole story or the whole picture. So when this person posits that people are just simply okay with Amy and Tammy being horrible and doing horrible things on their show, that's false. That just, like, simply is not true. And so because it positions Amberlynn in this, like, place of Amberlynn being treated unfairly, she runs with it. But the reality is, as somebody who has covered both Amy and Tammy Slayton for a very long time on my channel, just about as long as I've covered Amberlynn on my channel, I'm here to tell you that it is not that simple. It just isn't. There are a lot of people who do not give Amy and Tammy a chance, who do not think that they're worth giving a chance, that do send Amy and Tammy a lot of hate and have over years. Just in the context of the show 1,000 Pound Sisters, the first 3 to 4 seasons, people would get so upset when I would try to understand the human side of Tammy and her behaviors and her actions. But people hated Tammy Slayton. People called me a Tammy Slayton apologist because I would try to understand where some of her temper tantrums and stuff like that came from. And people really did not like her. And in fact, like, a lot of people have come around to Tammy because, well, you want to talk about fat phobia? Sometimes I'm like, I think some people really only view her positively because she lost a lot of weight. I think there are a selection of people that, like, when Tammy lost the huge amount of weight she did, that they're like, oh my god, she's a good person. But I think more importantly is, like, we've seen on the show, Tammy put in a lot of work to change who she is as a person. She went to rehab. She has clearly been going to therapy and talking about some of her mental and emotional problems and struggles. She has tried to interact with her family in a more peaceful way, and we've seen her interact in a more peaceful way, maybe outside of this past week on the show. But, like, we have seen her grow. We have seen that change in her. And to be honest, not a lot has changed about who Amberlynn is and what Amberlynn has done on her channel over the course of her history on YouTube. So, I think Amberlynn is ignoring that. And also is ignoring the fact that, like, at the beginning of the show, a lot of people were Team Amy. And in recent history on the show, well, like, just now, right now, people are really upset with Amy about her arrest for drug possession and child endangerment. So, like, neither Tammy nor Amy are without tons of criticism, and Amberlynn just posits this suggestion that, like, everybody just loves and adores Tammy and Amy, and that's, like, couldn't be further from the truth. But because the way the person worded this question, it presents Amberlynn with this ability to be like, oh, I'm treated so unfairly. And it's just simply not the case. It really isn't. Somebody said, today's happy thought, ? And just like I had to include a slide for the pluviophile update, I had to include a Lego update because she said, I'm starting my new Lego today. And I'm super excited. I haven't done a new Lego in a while. I'm having withdrawals. Girl, please be serious. Withdrawals? All right, okay. Sure. I wanted to get a few productive things done today first, before I started it though. And since I'm almost done with my list of things I wanted to get done, I'll be starting it soon. You and Erica were following each other. It was easy to find. Crab just proved it to be correct. Which, this is an ongoing list of questions to which we'll ultimately get to her acknowledging that Erica did follow her at a certain point. But she said, Erica and I were not following each other on Instagram. I never followed her because I didn't want anyone to know who she was. She never followed me because she didn't want Brittany to know about me. Which is also interesting because clearly, I mean, like, Brittany didn't know about the extent of their relationship, but Brittany did, in fact, know about her. But either way, the next person said, why do you lie about watching reaction channels? And she said, I don't. I've always been very open about watching certain ones and sometimes taking a break from watching them as well. It's just, I think the thing is that people are going to continue to, like, hear only bits and pieces because she flip-flops so often on things and, like, changes her story about things, like, if she watches reaction channels or not. Like, people aren't always going to get the most up-to-date answer from her, especially when she's answering it, like, talking about it here in Instagram stories that disappear and poof away, you know? But I digress. Somebody said, you lie about watching Karina, and Amberlynn said, I don't watch her. If I did, I'd say so. Just like when I say I watch others. I only watch a couple reaction channels. Hers is not one. I haven't watched a Karina video since I was dating Becky. Somebody said, do you think YouTube validates your low self-esteem? Trauma survivors seek chaos sometimes. And she said, nah, a large portion doesn't validate anything about me. I sometimes hear some of the things reaction channels say or some of my audience, and they're actively judging, forgetting that I have reasons for why I am the way I am. Things I literally can't control right now. Why is it that people only care about mental health of others once they're gone? We're finding that happening right now with Liam, which rest in peace, but it's sad to be a witness to that, let alone someone who is subject to that daily. So many people deal with that, and it's just a sad reality. It's interesting that she says that, I mean, there's a lot we could probably talk about with her, like, bringing up the death of Liam Payne and this out of nowhere. But I think the part that's most interesting to me is her saying, why is it that people only care about the mental health of others once they're gone? And that's really interesting to me. It's because, like, I personally talk about mental health in, like, almost all of my videos because I can see that she's not taking care of hers. And I think that taking care of mental health is, like, super, super important. And so, like, for her to act like nobody's concerned about her mental health when, like, she's the one that's clearly not concerned about her own mental health by not, like, actively seeking treatment for her BPD, for not actively going to therapy in any kind of way, shape, or form. Like, I don't know, like, when she's also sitting here talking about, I guess, saying that there are reasons why she is the way she is, it's like, yeah, we understand that there's reasons why you are the way you are, and you don't just get to sit on that forever and treat people poorly or do bad things or continue bad behaviors just because you have BPD or just because you have a mental illness in some kind of way. Like, you are expected to, like, work on those things and treat those things. And so it's just wild to me that she's trying to weaponize this idea that, like, nobody cares about her mental health and wouldn't care about it until she was gone, when I think I and probably many others have brought up serious concerns about her mental health a lot. And again, somebody said there's literally screenshots of you following Erica's account, and she said, I feel absolutely insane. Is this gaslighting, LMAO? I did not follow her while we were dating. If someone has a screenshot, show me, thanks. And somebody said there's a screenshot of Erica following you, LOL. She never followed me. And she said there's so many Ericas following me, so if she was, I didn't know. I know for sure I never followed her or interacted with her Instagram at all besides privately. Has anyone sent you a screenshot of you or Erica following each other? And she said, nope, I'm not sure it exists. It does. Somebody said, thoughts about that security cam footage of you waddling out of Target? By the way, yikes. And then she said, TJ Maxx, I looked cute as fuck. My weight doesn't always define me. I could have easily gotten that person fired from their job, but I was too unbothered to care. I just always love when somebody is so unbothered to care, but then, like, publicly tells the internet about it. Because, like, yeah, clearly you're so unbothered. They probably felt dumb because it wasn't the flex they thought it was gonna be, LMAO. And honestly, truly, if it was me, I would have gotten the person fired. I think that was fucked up. I can't remember if I said it at the time or not, but I felt very strongly that that was like a fucked up thing to do. Like, you're really risking your whole entire job to steal creepy footage and post it to the internet. Like, you're a weirdo. You are a weirdo if you did that, and you're lucky that Amberlynn was probably just too lazy to contact the TJ Maxx and get your ass fired, because that's weird behavior. You're a weirdo. Somebody said, why did you stop therapy? I know you said you're planning to again. I hope it helps. It helped me. And she said, because my psychologist wasn't able to see me anymore because they work in Kentucky, not Oklahoma. It was the best therapy I've ever done. I truly felt a connection with them, was able to heal parts of me I never thought I would, and found parts of me I didn't know existed. I'm hesitant finding another psychologist because after 6 months of intensive therapy with that one person, it's hard to start over. Which is, I don't know. I mean, on one hand, I get it a little bit, and also, like, it's been over a year since you've seen that psychologist, that therapist. Like, it's time to do the work. It's time to do the work. There are no more excuses. Like, go to therapy. Somebody said, I haven't seen the TJ Maxx video, but whoever did that should be fired. And she said, that's what a lot of people were thinking as well, but I don't care enough. I don't care enough, but I am answering a whole entire second question about it. It's just an odd thing to do. I'm at work, but let me flex and post security footage from my job showing that Amberlynn was breathing my air. Like, you're weird. I didn't realize she used that language, by the way. I did not remember the screenshot, so I guess we agree. You're weird! That's weirdo behavior! Stop being weird! Somebody said, what do you mean drinking doesn't make you gain weight? BUZZBALLS on their own are like over 200 calories. And she said, alcohol's a diuretic. Man, if all I had to do was just consume diuretics to lose weight and just drink as much alcohol as possible and I could lose weight, like, that would be so stunning. That would be just so amazing. Somebody said, any update on the screenshot of you following Erica? And she said, yes, it's true. I was never following any of her profiles, but she was in fact following me. But guess what? It was her super old profile she had way before even knowing me that she followed me on years ago, which I didn't even know she had. The Instagram she's had for a while now and the one she communicated with me on was never following me, just as I thought. Oh, thank God. Somebody said, would you take your partner's last name if you got married? And she said, it'll be my official double-barreled surname era. Stunning. I can't believe we're talking about marriage after 4 months. After 4 months of your talkiversary. Alcohol being a diuretic doesn't mean it doesn't have calories. And she said, it's a continuous conversation about how I lose weight whenever I drink. Oh God, this girl is exhausting. Wasn't denying alcohol has calories. Just completely, this girl. Are you actually trying to say that calories from alcohol somehow don't count? And she said, no, I'm saying that since alcohol is a diuretic, it makes me lose water weight the day after I drink it, but I gain that weight back the next couple of days. That's the ongoing conversation that's happening right now. So what she's saying is that it makes her gain weight eventually, because she just gains weight. Like, the first day she might not, because she's probably dehydrated. And then the next couple of days, she gains the weight back. Like, stunning. Nobody understands nutrition like Amberlynn does. And I think that's it. I think that's the end of my screenshots. So, what a very, very long video. I know y'all have been enjoying these though, if for no other reason to just have them playing in the background while you're working on other things. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm going out of town, like I said, for a couple days, but I will certainly be back and ready to go with whatever comes our way should she start posting on YouTube again, the actual platform that most of us started following her on. But otherwise, that's all I have. So if you are brand new to my channel and you just got here today, make sure to subscribe down below. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!